Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to a ship review. Now, for the people that don't know, the latest patch 3.4 is in a staggered rollout at the moment on the PTU, and managed to get my hands on it. We do have some new ships in this patch as well, which is absolutely fantastic. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Freelancer MAX. All the other variants for the Mist series are in. If you own one of the Freelancer series, this is going to be pretty cool for you. Okay, first off, the Freelancer MAX is a cargo hauler. There's also the MISC, which is military, and also the DER as well, which is sort of like the base sort of exploration sort of ship as well. So let's take a look around. First off, it does look really well polished, doesn't it? I must admit, the materials look fantastic. I even like that, dare I say, sort of pooey sort of orange. Does look quite nice. Looks pretty decent. Probably one of the nicer ones, in fact. Now, between all the Freelancers, the front is different. In fact, the whole entire ships are different between all of them. They sort of look the same from the stereotypical Freelancer character, but they're pretty much different in every way, really, apart from the cockpit areas, really. This one, it's got like a sort of a round front. The MISC has got two little knobbly bits on the end, and it does seem a bit narrow as well. Let's take a look around. They're really nailing these ships now, aren't they? I know the leg's in the floor. I actually landed at 6 locations before I got here, because couldn't get the ship to stay still. We do have a side door here as well. One thing I do like about this is I like the fact that it has 3 entry points. It's got the side door, it's got an airlock hatch at the back, and then it's got the rear door as well. So you've got 3 points of entry there. It's just handy when you're doing EVA, running missions, doing cargo, whatever you're doing. It just gives you multiple ways of getting out, and I always prefer that. There's a lot of the bigger ships out there where they've only got one, and it's quite frustrating running to that rear hatch all the time. So having a side door, a hatch on the top and a rear door on something that's relatively small, really. Keep looking around. Guns are absolutely awesome. Pretty much the same ones as the DER on here, I think. The MISC has Gatling guns. Wait until you see them, they're absolutely ridiculous. I mean, ridiculously good. I think so anyway. But later patches could maybe make it not as fun. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Wow, look at that little power gauge on it as well. I bet that don't go down when you use it, surely not. Now, one of the big advantages with the Freelancer series over maybe some of the bigger ships, because there is a sort of a decision you've got to make here. I mean, in-game today, the Caterpillar is the biggest ship that's going to make you the most money, basically, doing cargo runs. It's just easier to fly in and fly out compared to the Starfarer. I mean, once fuel comes in with the Starfarer, obviously the Starfarer beat it, because it better do dry weight and fuel, so that's going to be interesting. God, I wouldn't want to fire these. Too nice, don't they? Fair old size as well. About the same size as, actually probably bigger than me, maybe about 10, 15 foot long, aren't they? Pretty chunky. And then the engine's on the back. That looks awesome, doesn't it? Very wide. It's as wide as it is long. One of the big advantages with the Freelancer series is the fact that, first of all, it is publicised having a low IR output. Now, I agree, this does have 2 more engines than the base model, but it's still got the same engines fitted. I think if you had to pick one ship right now to play in the PTU for the next year, 2 years, however long it's going to go, this is the best ship so far, undoubtedly. Purely on the basis that, you've got over 100 units of cargo, you can take off and land at rapid concession, you can go and do missions in this, You could play with your friends. This is just, it used to be the Cutlass for me. Okay, the cargo is really, really weak in it, but just for bopping around and picking people up, this is almost like a step up, right? This has just got a huge cargo space, and the maneuverability and handling is absolutely awesome. It's a really good ship. Now, undoubtedly, you could make more money in the Caterpillar, and you could make more money in the Freelancer. And what I mean is, it'd be interesting to do a test side by side. Now, obviously, the Caterpillar can carry more, but this can actually leave atmosphere way faster. This can take off faster. Now, I suppose you could argue that the Caterpillar can actually jump faster, so there is a... Depends what you're doing, really. But for now, for the average person, picking one ship, I'll probably go with this. I wouldn't go with the Caterpillar as your one ship, because then you're stuck with like the big, log of death flying that thing round trying to do an AI mission. It's just going to be a right pain in the arse. With this thing, it's big enough to make money, good money, right? Because so far, you could get at least 100k in the cargo hold here, easy. You could make maybe 5-10k out of that, maybe 13 if you did a decent run. That's pretty good. It's a good amount to make, I think. These things are pretty cool. Are they moving? I'm trying to see if they're not moving, are they? They've done these landing legs. Now let's have a look at that, right? Them 2 notches at the top. Do you reckon the other one's going to be further out? Let's have a look. Yeah, it does, look. So it sort of tries to balance itself out based on the terrain. And then the front one's just sinks into the floor. Well, that's done a good job. These haven't they? They're quite small. They're quite small legs. They just come down from there. Quite small, aren't they? There's not a huge amount going on the outside. It has these little wings, so maybe that helps with a bit of atmospheric flight later on. What's that thing chuffing over there? You see that? There's one there as well. Didn't notice that. Let's take a look inside. Yeah, don't worry about that. It all appears in a minute. There we go. So here we are. Right, what I could do now is I could go and turn the power on so we can see what we're looking at. I did try and turn the power off there, just stop it getting bouncing all over the place. It'd be good if you can do it for me. I did try this last time. It did come up with a thing, but you just couldn't actually press the buttons. The only difference I can see, I mean, there is 4 seats in here, but are the actual seat cushions, and you'll notice that between the Freelancers variant. So we'll just jump in here, we'll turn on the power, and we'll start at the back and have a good look round.
Hello, how can this help you today? Systems on.
And we shut the door as well, eh? So, here we are. Massive space, isn't it? You could get some smaller little snub fighters in here. You could get the Rover in here. Now, I haven't tried this yet. You can't get it in with the arms there. But, if you get one of your friends to go up there, up in the gun, and then drive it in, and then they get out the gun, it's a little bit annoying, isn't it? I think it's the only little, I don't say design flaw, but they should have made these arms double telescopic, you know what I mean? So they sort of come down on double rams rather than one long one. That way then, the top bit would have been up here, up the top. Because if you think about it, if you look at them arms now, and you look at the size of the back door, if that was a design decision, then what's the point of having the door that wide? Because you can't fit anything higher than this point here. It's not the end for the ship by any means. I can't try it now because I can't see down here when I'm in the gunner's seat, but I'll try it out. I have flown all the other ships as well, all the Freelancers. I did think the Der was going to have better jump capability, faster. It doesn't. That's one downside with this one, unfortunately. It does jump quite slow. The jump speeds start getting bigger. The jump speeds get a little bit better when you start moving up to the Starfarer and the bigger ships. All these little doors here. These will be all the modules, shield. Got more over this side. More shields. Looks like the same thing over the other side, isn't it? Cargo net thing. I mean, there's no complaints in here. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a cargo hold, isn't it? So, these little magnetic strips, that shows where the cargo is. If you see the red line around the edge of the room, you can see where the cargo is going to be placed. So you're going to be coming in here like this. So you've got double gangways, you can go left and right. Now moving on into... Actually, it says above the door, actually, doesn't it? Docking. An airlock. You can open this from here as well. This is pretty cool if you're doing EVA missions yourself and you've got to go and pick up bits and bobs and something like that and you want to EVA in. Better than leaving the massive door open, isn't it? Just leave that little hatch open and you can close it from the outside. Once again, I believe that this, for me, this is the best ship, the single ship to own. If you're going to have to own one ship in Star Citizen right now, while it's in development, this is the best one, undoubtedly. It's just the way it handles as well. For a big it is a big ship, it's not small. What else we got? There's not really much else in here, really. Can't do much as well. There is some cargo slots there as well. They've done a great job with the lighting as well. I like the fact that they've done a mix of I want to say LED lights, but white lights over these yellow ones. Breaks down the area, looks really nice. Same with in here as well. They've done a sort of similar sort of thing and it's good. They're a bit flickery, aren't they? Do you reckon they're flickering? It's a little bit annoying. It looks like they're all flickering a little bit. There's a bug. And into your living quarters, basically. Right, on this side, what do we have? On the door number 1. Here's the shower. When I first looked at it, I thought that was a blooming module. I thought, and then I realised, oh, well, it's a shower. It is a bit odd, because if you look, I'm actually standing in, I'm not quite standing in a hole. Am I on the same level as here? Look. So you come in at the same level, and it's an actual step up to get into the shower. It's really weird, look. I would have thought that that would have just been on the same level. They could have just done a step from there to go up, and then put all this level. Then again, I'm sure there was a module in the way or something. I'm not going to close the door, because we know what happens when you close it, lock yourself in the loo, you get stuck, don't you? Can't react with anything. I've tried looking at all this sort of stuff. Turn the shower on. It's a decent sink though. Some of the other ones just don't look realistic, but this one definitely does. First aid. Clearly you're probably going to need that. And on this side, bit of water. I think that's a microwave, isn't it? Low, medium, high. It's got to be a microwave. So you got towels, water, microwave. So healthy eating here. And then I wonder what that thing is at the top there. God knows. Maybe it's another drinks thing, isn't it? And then some empty space at the top. Oh, so you've got a mind your hands sign there. Amazing detail. The lighting in here is incredible. They've just really nailed it with this lighting. The way that reflection looks. Particularly on the material as well. It looks real. Console here. Can't do anything with this yet. I've tried this. Over this side. This is your other door. This is the one we looked on outside. It does have that door there. And then you just come out here and you can... Once again, you don't have to use the ladder, do you? It's just another point when you go and pick with your mates up or you want to do a mission, getting in and out the ship. Just makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? And it don't hang about, does it? That thing shoots up. You can close this door. It's a bit of a pain to... There we go, closed door. But it does actually close on its own after a period of time as well. That's interesting. There's a little handle there. I wonder if we can like manually lock it or something. I can't wait until they introduce proper permissions on doors and stuff like that. The only thing I was thinking, I've said this in one of my older videos when I saw this, because you go from the cargo hold into here, This is the sort of, you know, the docking ring, we'll call it a docking ring, where you can EVA out. But yeah, you know what I'm getting on. These doors really need to stay closed, don't they? So I think there should be buttons on these doors. Sure, it's a quick fix. These plastics look awesome, don't they? On all the reflections. You can see some design points here, what they've done with the step ladders to stop collision when you're walking past another player. Obviously they put that ladder there. You could have easily walked through the middle, but the problem then would have been obviously if it's 2 people coming out, and there's more likely going to be 2 because there's 4 beds, isn't there? Not going to get in a bed. One thing I'm not too keen about, you know, what do you think? It's when you hover on here, see when it makes the whole thing go colour, look. Can't they just, sure there's another way to do that. I just think it breaks, I don't know, it breaks immersion a little bit. It's like a bit weird, isn't it? Almost looks like an error. Why can't they just do it so when you hover on the bed, the pad highlights? I imagine this, what we're looking at here, this whole orange area now is just an easier way for you to interact with that area, but I don't know. Just looks a bit naff, doesn't it? And the only bit we haven't tried out yet is that turret at the back, which is actually pretty good. And this could also act as a point defense system, absolutely. So, I wonder if we can see the arms. Can't move my head. See if them arms went when we went up. Some funny stuff's going on. Should be able to turn the power on here somewhere, or is it? Here it is. What I have noticed, I'm using about 1000 DPI here on my mouse, right? Oh, I know, swear while I'm using a mouse. Yeah, that ain't going to work, is it? So if I go to 1500 and more, 2000, 3000, no more than that, probably about 3500 DPI. I mean, you can change all this in the settings, obviously, and improve this. And if you actually look at the ship, you can see the anglement of the gun as well. Now, what I meant by point defense, even if troops are coming towards you, look. Really cool, isn't it? Because it's got a lot of the guns don't have like a downwards arc like that. They just get their, you know, the lowest point to be here. But this is super cool. This is. I mean, you can shoot towards the front. My advice would be, if you land this ship, you want to land it in a crater. Yeah, you could argue then they're shooting down on you, but this way, then at least you can shoot the gun, eh? What else have we got in here? Let's have a look. I confirmed. It looks like I've actually broken both my wrists. Doesn't look very healthy, does it? Let's have a look upwards. We didn't look up, did we? Wow, so yeah, I mean you can... I would say probably one of the better turrets, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. But saying that, the forward guns are way better anyway, so you're probably more likely going to be using the forward guns most of the time. Unless one of your buddies want to jump in here and try and help out. Help with a bit of flanking fire. Oh, over that, or the old point defense thing. No, I don't think them arms move, do they? So I just had a quick look up there. I think them inner arms come down, up and down, don't they? Let's have a look. Oh, I changed the DPI down. Whoa. Yeah, I think the inner arms just go up and down, not the outer ones. So that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Well, try and see what I was going to... Not today, obviously, but I'm going to try and see what other things I can get in here. M50, maybe? What do you reckon? It's quite wide. Might do. That'd be pretty decent if you get an M50 in here. Anyway, let's go and have a look up the front. Four seats here. Jump in one of these first of all, let's have a look. Get your console. Can't turn the console on, so opening up the front. There is a little window up the top, but you can't really see out there when you're sitting in the seat. Now, some people argue about the visibility of the ship and blah, 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 but at the end of the day, you can't have a perfect ship at everything. And to be fair, this is definitely one of the better ships in game at the moment, by far. It's just usable. You got a good amount of cargo. The maneuverability is fantastic. Let's jump in this seat. So, should be flight ready already, shouldn't I? Take it for a little bit of a fly and you'll see what I mean.
Launch sequence complete. Landing gear up.
Yeah, the good thing about it is, like I said, because you've got some serious powerful engines there. The reason it's got obviously double, because you're carrying double the load basically, aren't you? So you've got the same maneuverability that you have in the base Freelancer than you have in this when you're fully loaded. And it just handles fantastically. I mean, look, you can really turn. It's not slow at all. And coming out of atmosphere is pretty decent. It's just overall really good. Compared to all the other ships, because there's a transition you make. You go from I would say medium to large, but I suppose that is the case. You go between this one to probably next to Constellation, and then from the Constellation to a Starfarer. They're quite big leaps, aren't they? And this is now the fastest ship before you go to that next size. I.e., when you go to the Constellation, the handling is much slower. Getting out of the atmosphere is much slower. This thing does 1,005. Compared to the other Freelancers go, there's not a massive amount of difference. I think the other one does 1,045. I mean, whoopee, you know what I mean? It's not a massive difference. But this thing shifts, and it picks up speed quickly, regens its own boost, which I know is going to go anyway, afterburner, which is going to go at some point anyway when the new flight controls come in. But either way, what an awesome ship. I think if you've got one of these now, you should be really, really pleased. Once again, it just looks really cool, doesn't it? Very impressed with this ship. In fact, I might even pick one up just to use for the next year or so in Star Citizen and doing some cargo runs. Because this is, like I said, this is a sort of one you could do a cargo run and then nip off and go and do an NPC mission. It's fantastic. Awesome ship. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you've got one of these guys and if you've tried it out yet, or if you're waiting to try it out. Very exciting. You will not be disappointed. What a fantastic ship. Okay, the last thing on the agenda today, if you're looking to join a Star Citizen organisation, check out the link in the description below. That's it from me. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.